chiamo Dario Cappelloni e sono qui a raccontarvi un po' di vini. Racconto sempre che la mia prima sbronza l'ho presa a 3 anni, quindi diciamo che ho una lunga tradizione di legame con il vino. Poi nella mia vita ho potuto trasformare quella che è stata la mia grande passione nel mio lavoro, quindi ho lavorato per 17 anni al Gambero Rosso, poi sono andato via e adesso lavoro da 12 anni con Daniele Cernilli a Dr. Wine e da qualche anno mi accompagno alla banda della Rimessa Roscioli. Insieme realizziamo degustazioni, incontri e dove ci divertiamo a scegliere i vini dei produttori che sostanzialmente sono quelli che piacciono a noi. Ed è una grande opportunità anche per me quella di appunto poter dar seguito alla mia passione, potendo girare con questa banda di ragazzini a trovare tanti produttori in giro nell'Italia da poi poter proporre ai clienti della Rimessa. Beh, qui ci troviamo di fronte a quasi un vero e proprio mito. Ci troviamo nel cuore della Côte de Blanc, nel punto più alto della Côte de Blanc, a Cramant. È un produttore i cui champagne sono oggetto di una caccia spietata di tutti gli appassionati, perché la produzione arriva a stento a 20.000 bottiglie. Sono quindi champagne che sono famosi per la loro eleganza, una finezza straordinaria, dalle grandi capacità di invecchiamento. A questo si aggiunge l'annata 2016, che è sicuramente un'annata molto molto importante, quindi uno champagne da bere adesso, ma da bere anche per i prossimi 10-15 anni. Qui, considerate la delicatezza di questo champagne, l'abbinamento classico è chiaramente con del pesce a polpa bianca. Zona montagne di Reims, 60% Pinot Nero, 40% Chardonnay, è un millesimato Brut, è uno champagne di grande consistenza, concentrato con una perfetta maturità. L'annata 2012 in Champagne è stata straordinariamente efficace e buona. È uno champagne di grande complessità, di grande struttura e quindi diciamo con possibilità di abbinamenti estremamente variegati, insomma, per cui carni bianche, pesci, ottimo anche per come dire, come aperitivo, ed è sicuramente uno champagne che non avrà nessun problema a invecchiare nella vostra cantina. Questo è un bianco che proviene dalla zona del Roero. Ci troviamo in Piemonte, è la riva sinistra del Tanaro, dalla parte opposta da dove si trovano le Langhe. L'Arneis è il vino bianco più famoso della zona, che da sempre è stato considerato un vino molto semplice, anche ai limiti del banale. Dal 2017 però c'è la possibilità per la denominazione di uscire con dell'Arneis Riserva. Questo ha stimolato molti produttori a fare, come dire, dei bianchi molto più importanti. Questo è stato uno dei primi produttori a lanciarsi su questa nuova strada. Allora, a dispetto dell'etichetta poco italiana, ci troviamo invece nel nord dell'Italia, in particolare provincia di Bolzano, a nord-est della città di Bolzano. Il vino è un Pinot Bianco, il produttore è un giovane produttore che in questo momento è sicuramente tra i più efficaci e tra i più importanti produttori di vini dell'Alto Adige. Il Pinot Bianco è uno dei bianchi più tipici della provincia di Bolzano e probabilmente in questa zona si fanno i migliori Pinot Bianco del mondo. Questa è una super selezione, Renaissance, cioè è un Pinot Bianco che esce 4-5 anni dopo la vendemmia, quindi è la ricerca di vini di grande complessità e di grandi capacità di invecchiamento. È un vino che, come dire, si adatta molto a certi piatti della cucina locale, tipo il salmerino, la trota, si adattano molto bene, ma considerata la struttura e la consistenza di questo vino, non disdegna abbinamenti con piatti a base di carni bianche. Bene, con questo vino andiamo in Piemonte, nelle Langhe, nelle famose Langhe, nella zona dove si produce uno dei più famosi nebbioli, il Barbaresco. Siamo nel comune di Neive e il produttore si chiama Andrea Sottimano probabilmente il più borgognone dei produttori della denominazione, perché è un grande amante, un grande conoscitore dei vini della Borgogna e soprattutto in cantina utilizza tecniche che sono tipiche della Borgogna. Come tipico della Borgogna anche una produzione per singole vigne, in questo caso il vigneto è Currà, l'annata è la 2014, che è stata considerata un'annata piccola o comunque poco interessante, ma in realtà lui, dimezzando la produzione, è riuscito a realizzare uno dei barbaresco più eleganti che si possano sentire negli ultimi anni. Vini di grande carattere dal grandissimo, grandissimo invecchiamento e soprattutto il contrario di un vino omologato. È un vino veramente dalla fortissima personalità. Bisogna soltanto saperlo aspettare un pochino. Gli abbinamenti, beh, qui, come dire, carne cruda battuta e coniglio anche in questo caso, che è tra l'altro un piatto tipico della zona. Bene, qui abbiamo a che fare con un vino e con un vitigno molto particolare. Allora, siamo in Sardegna, sud della Sardegna, precisamente a Serdiana, a una quindicina di chilometri da Cagliari. Sono colline sui 200-250 metri d'altitudine. L'azienda si chiama Audaria, sono due fratelli giovanissimi, fratello e sorella giovanissimi, che sono veramente i giovani leoni della produzione sarda. Questo vino in particolare, il Nuracada, è un Bovale in purezza, che è un vitigno che in Sardegna stava rischiando l'estinzione, su cui invece questi giovani ragazzi hanno puntato molto e nel giro di pochi anni questo è diventato uno dei vini rossi più interessanti dell'isola. È un vino di grande struttura, austero, ai limiti della severità, ma un vino dall'indubbio fascino mediterraneo. Quindi quando mettete il naso nel bicchiere sentite veramente aria di mare, di macchia mediterranea, di mirto e tutto il resto. Quindi è chiaramente una cucina, si deve abbinare a una cucina sostanziosa come è la cucina sarda. Quindi grandi carni rosse, dalla cacciagione a qualsiasi altro preparato di carni rosse.
Okay, welcome to everyone. This is possibly my last video that I'm going to record here in Rimessa Roscioli from next week. Our videos will be recorded in New York. I will be back probably in 6-8 months. I'm kind of excited. The project we are developing is beyond incredible. And I hope we will be able to do at least like 5% of our ideas. It will be already a lot because I don't know if you know it, we are actually starting to ship the wines through sailboats. So it means completely with no emission of gas. It's only like, I think, 3 gallons of gas for the entire trip from Italy, from France actually to New York. For the people that will subscribe to New York Wine Club, they're going to have an incredible amount of privilege. Being part of our club means having free wine courses at the restaurant in New York, possibility to visit vineyards here in Italy, and also we're also developing a project. We're just starting it. I don't know if you know it, that we bought a vineyard with a little house in Etna, and this little house in Etna will be available for everyone that wants to come to visit us. We need to restore it a bit, of course, and the project is to do a kind of a crowdfunding / financing the possibility to save vineyards, not just in Etna, but also in Sardinia and other places. We're talking about vineyards that are maybe 80, 90, 100 years old, and the wine that will be produced entirely for us, for the restaurant, and for the wine club. And so I'm so excited to develop this project. It's going to create a community of winemakers or wine passionate and people that are actually interested to do alternative way to perceive the countryside, to respect the environment, and also to save tradition. Prosecco and Amarone, they've been completely destroyed by a strong and massive production and also an approach to the technique of winemaking that was about not distinguish where exactly the wine was coming from, was more about the label. It happens with every industrialization, it's not. It happens with hamburgers, with chips, with everything you eat from a supermarket. The concept is that the flavor has to always be the same. And somehow with the Amarone, the fact that it's made with raisins, at a certain point, the over-extraction of this sugar side transformed Amarone in a wine that has got a bit of an average type of flavor. You don't really distinguish the vintage, sometimes even difficult to distinguish winemaker from the other. And why we like wine, it's not because it has got a high alcohol content or low alcohol content. We like wine because it's diverse. And we like to train our palate to different aesthetical experience. And so when I actually met Maddalena from Musella, what she did was incredible. I already explained it because we've been putting the basic Amarone in the other basic wine club, and she was able to turn upside down the winery from her father. And this Amarone is completely different from the others, even though the alcohol content is still high. It's 16 degrees in alcohol, but you will not perceive it because it's got a nice salty finish, mainly due to the type of soil that is calcareous. And there was a part of the video that explained it. You're going to have a wine that is unique, and she was so nice to give us some bottles, because I think she produced no more than 500 bottles of this Senza Titolo, which means no titles, no name, and there is this beautiful label that gives the sense of an artisan type of wine. And you will be completely shocked. If you love Amarone, you probably will be surprised. At the beginning, you will not like this wine. That's why I like it, because it doesn't taste like the modern type of Amarone. It's more on tertial aromas, on the elegance of this terroir and soil. And this is a wine that can go with any type of food with a bit of a structure, and also will make you change your idea of what is an Amarone that is not necessarily a super bold, fruity wine. These are the two iconic winemakers, and one is coming from Gioia del Colle, one is coming from Manduria. Of course, they fight each other, friendly fight, I have to say, because Manduria is better than Gioia del Colle. No, Gioia del Colle is more traditional than Manduria. The soil is better here. No, the climate is better here. To me, they are so iconic, and they're so related with the character, Gianfranco and Nicola, that I would go beyond the concept of where the wine is coming from and more focus on who is making it. Nicola is an incredible character, the way he makes jokes about himself, and I would say that without Nicola we wouldn't have a Primitivo in Gioia del Colle, and I have to say that even without Gianfranco Fino we wouldn't speak about high quality Primitivo. You have to consider that before 20 years ago, Primitivo was a kind of a wine that used to be sold for like maybe $3 per liter, was not even considered a quality wine. It started to become famous in the 90s because somehow they discovered that it was the same generical version of the Zinfandel in US. This is a 2010, is a red label, private red label, that produce only, I think, 500 bottles, so it's really not common to find this wine, kind of expensive, so try to like it. And I would say that here you're going to find a bit more concentration and slightly more fruit. Here you got more in the third aromas. Two beautiful wines, so two different sides of the same grape variety, but two different lands, two different characters. These wines are so bold, I wouldn't use it as an aperitivo. They have to go with some strong food with a bit of spice, even some salty hard cheese. In that case, I would go for a pecorino, for example, that will balance a bit the sweetness and the sugar perception of the wine. But yeah, you need to have a strong palate to taste these wines. They can last for long in the cellar too. You know how much I like biodiversity, so I call it cultural biodiversity, and this is a perfect example because Marco Casolanetti, he has a kind of an American touch, in my opinion. He's a dreamer in the sense that at a certain point he decided to twist the concept of red wines from Marche. We are on northeast of Rome, on the other side of the Mediterranean, so it's not the Tirreno but the Adriatico. Marche is a beautiful region that became mainly famous for white wines in the last 25-30 years. Not a lot of people has been developed the concept of red wines. In my opinion, have an incredible potential, that area, in terms of red wines. We're talking about mainly Montepulciano as a grape variety. So when Marco Casolanetti decided to create a project around the Montepulciano that used to be, and it still is, a grape variety that is kind of a bit of a rough, not easy to make an elegant version of it. the Montepulciano or the Rosso Conero, which is a blend of other grape varieties that come from Marche, it has been usually considered a local wine, not really famous and not really exported outside of the area. So when I think 25 years ago, more or less, he started to develop this project of making a super high concentrated Montepulciano with a really specific finage in really expensive barrels. He came out with something that nobody tasted before. We need to create a connection between Casolanetti and a few other projects that are involving our wine club. One is Rosso di San Giovenale, the blend barrels that we make for the wine club, and the other one is Cantina di Nonelli. Cantina di Nonelli, which has been part of the wine club several times, has been started, helped by Marco Casolanetti. So we are in Marche, in the center part of Marche, not so far from the seaside. You're gonna expect here wine with 14.5 degrees in alcohol, 100% Montepulciano, an incredible roundness and purity of the fruit. The point of this wine, in my opinion, that needs time. So you know that in our Collector and Legends selection, we put wines that are ready to drink now, and maybe they should stay a few years in the cellar. This one here, if you drink it in 20 years, it's even better. If you want to drink it in 10 years, it's good. If you want to drink it now, it's not a big problem, but I might suggest to wait a bit. I think that you should pair it with some heavy meat, something a bit strong, even a bit spicy possibly, like I would say pork chops with some herbs, barbecue, I would say, and enjoy it. Sobrero, you know, the Sobrero is like Palladino or Paitin. They are my adopted brothers. We adopted each other. He's slightly younger than I am, but we started somehow at the same time. I think that with Villero he reached an incredible achievement, having a wine that is able to be elegant and powerful at the same time, which is the big point in my opinion. Even good wine, but especially in the area of the Barolo, of the Nebbiolo, which is a wine that is powerful because of its tannins, but it's not thick. So it's this wine that is somehow, when you taste it, you feel that it's not there, and then it's coming a beautiful aftertaste. It's a long-lasting flavor. It was released only 6 months ago from the winery. He kept it for us, so it's a wine that stays more than 7 years, almost 8 years actually in the cellar. I'm so glad that he was able to give us more than 60 bottles. I think the entire production of this wine is less than 500. And that's it. It's a beautiful synthesis of all the things good you like in Barolo, and it can last for another 10 years in the cellar, but I would say that this is a wine also is ready to drink it now. This is a contemplative wine like all the Nebbiolo. I would rather pair it with some good Parmigiano, just to, I know I mentioned Parmigiano with Barolo a lot of time, but in this case, it's the perfect pairing. So, again, we have two wines coming from the same region. This is a 2005, this is a 1989. This is for the Collectors Club, and this is for the Legend Club. These wines, when they are young, are impossible to drink. And I remember I was somehow trying to, Lindsay was asking me, I would like to know what tannin is. And so we went to this guy here, and I said, I'm gonna let you try the wine that has got the most tannin ever. And her palate was dry for a couple of days, and I remember it was the most unpleasant, but on the same time, curious experience of her life. And I say, you might not like this wine, but if you let this wine sit for 10, 15, 20 years, this is going to change completely. And it's not easy to have these wines that are old. And so 2005, but especially 1999, two incredible vintage. This wine now, the tannins is still there, but it has lost his bitterness, and keep the wine alive. So this is you will understand more than everything with these two type of wine. We're talking about Umbria. We are not so far from Perugia, Sagrantino di Montefalco. It's an incredible area. Umbria has become famous, especially from some cheesy books that were published in US 10 years ago. But it's still a region that has got a good relationship with tourists. It's not being completely colonized like Tuscany. People are sincere. They still make their job without thinking too much what's the trend around it. And Sagrantino is a type of wine and a grape variety that's been developed mainly by Arnaldo Caprai. But we need to thank people like Dante Arquata if we have this type of wines that are still traditional. It's not completely corrupted by the oak. And these are wines that are endless in my opinion. They can stay here another 20 years. You need here something slightly fat, some some, I would say, it could go with some game too, and I would suggest to let it breathe for a couple of hours before. But it's a beautiful way to understand what is tannin and how you can get, your palate can get used to it.